Well, long and short of it is we managed to recover the cars a couple hours before they went to the auction block.
What?
Yeah.
They were going to auction the cars.
Yeah. Yeah.
They have all the good stuff.
Blessings, thanks for making the time out of your busy schedule to be on this Instagram live tonight. Since I've started the promotion, a lot of persons have been, reaching out, by DMs or inboxing on WhatsApp to say they are anticipating this live.
I wonder why.
Well, it's not every day we see Bug doing great things, especially on the international scene.
Right. It's just me being different. That's all it is. I've never been one to follow the norm, and the more people that tell me I can't do it, that's when I want to do it. So it's it's just one of those things.
Yes. Well, we will be getting right into it because time is very important. It is now 15 minutes after 8, and we won't delay any further. So, Damian McKenzie, right? Who is this person? For those who don't know, tell us.
I'm a simple person, simple person with the desire to do what he loves, which is drag racing. I love all forms of motorsports. I would say ultimately, if I had a choice, probably rally would have been my first option. But I stick in the lane that I need to go in based on the pocket. Simple as that. So I found drag racing to be a easy, at the time, it was a easy entry into the sport. And at that point, it took a hold. Once you get that first adrenaline rush, you will never, ever want to go back. Yes, you drive rally, you have it, it's longer, what have you. Some of the rally cars, 300, 400, 500, 600 horsepower. But you strap yourself into 1,000+ horsepower car, whether it's for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, whatever it is. At the end of the day, you will never, ever get that rush from any other type of, in my opinion, from motorsport. Exactly. It's short, quick, and sweet. That's bottom.
Yes. I mean, you mentioned a while ago adrenaline, and I would have to agree with you, that rush that you get within those couple seconds, those G's you're feeling, oh my.
Yeah. There's no, it's very hard. If you ask any racer, right?
Yes.
Once any drag racer, once they're in the car, and if you're at the bottom of the track, and when they come out of they unstrap and come out of the car, and you ask them how was the run, they're going to say, yeah, it was good or bad or whatever it is. But if you ask any one of them to tell you what happened during the run, half the time they can't tell you. It's the weirdest thing. It's the weirdest thing. If you don't have video in the car and video footage outside the car,
you just don't know what happened.
You just don't know. It's the weirdest thing. And for me, I find that I'm the most relaxed once I strap myself into a car.
Tell me something now, right? Your personal best.
Yeah.
is 8.3 seconds.
8:30 at 168 or 169, I think, something like that.
And for those 8.3 seconds, it's just like tunnel vision.
Yeah, and you know, it feel like I'm driving Miss Daisy going down the track. It don't feel like, but you know, when people are outside looking down and said, "Damn, what happened?" I say, "What happened?" So the car, you know, moving a little bit, but to me, it don't feel no way. It does feel like a normal Sunday drive. You know.
You know what? I think it's because you ran 8 seconds so many times. You know why you can able to say that. You know.
Well, that I would say that is true. The problem is we as racers, every time we set ourselves a goal,
yes.
The minute we accomplish that goal,
there's a new goal.
There's going to be a new goal. And the minute you hit it, you say, "Oh, all right. Next one. What's next?" Yeah.
So it's like that hunt, that hunt for more is never ending.
Never ending. That is the problem.
Interesting. Okay, now let us go way back now, Damian. Way back, and then we come forward, right?
All right.
Now, at what age you got introduced to motorsports?
From when I was a teenager. Well, motorsports, Lord, I would say from before way before I was a teenager.
Yes.
Way before. And then, you know, once I became a teenager and started to drive and all of that, you know, you start to hear about these races there in the gully, after blown by the boulevard. You know, we go stand up and watch, you know, look at the big names what running, you know, Peter Moody and a bunch of other people. And David Somerville Sr.
Yes.
And, you know, you watch it and you say, wow, yeah. And then you go Dover. We used to go Dover when Dover was a dirt track, right? And religiously, I would go with my uncle all the time. Then, you know, the need for speed became greater. And then we started to, once I actually acquired the bug, it was my daily driving car. In actual fact, my father, as a matter of fact, my father bought that car from my mother, and my mother never drove the car, not even one day. The first day I see it, I capture it. But while growing up, my father was always building cars. So I was always involved in the process of building cars, and from VWs to Escorts. So it's been in my blood from ever since I can remember, you know. And the beauty about the bug or VW is that you can customize it and tailor it to suit your taste, you know. And you know, so each time it taste change, you can change. You do what you want with it, and you know, it was just a neat thing. You know what I mean? And after that we, let me see. After a while, then I needed to go faster because it only had a 1600 engine in there. So
so that's the engine that the regular bug engine.
Yeah. Well, engine. Yeah. When that car was purchased, it had a 1600, but it wasn't a stock 1600. And then, but it wasn't really done properly. And, you know, me and my right foot started to figure out all of the problems right away. Yeah. And one day, at this time, my father and myself were sharing, we were sharing an office space right off of Dunrobin Avenue. And I just get vexed one day when I finally get this car started, and I get it, because we used to live in Golden Spring. And the minute I get this car started and I got down to the office about midday. Now imagine I try and leave Golden Spring from 9 o'clock in the morning, and I don't reach down there till about 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
The first thing I do. But what? The first thing I do, man, is put that backside on four concrete block.
Yeah.
And I start pull out every moment Jesus out of it. By the time my father come outside, couple of hours later, I see the car in pieces. Him say, what happened? Me say, this way, it have a fix. Done.
Yes.
And at that point, the whole process started, you know, and
Okay.
it was, you know, at that point, I was hooked, you know.
Yeah.
I was hooked.
So what was the next step? Did you upgrade the engine? What was the next step?
Yeah, I did a lot of upgrades actually. I built a 1835 cc engine. At this point, I became friends with Loxley Lynn. He is the VW guru in Jamaica, and he helped me along the whole process. And Dunrobin Auto Parts, which is no longer there, but Mr. Ty, and you know I did custom. I built a set of. I made my own rear disc brake setup because the other thing, the car had 4-wheel discs. It had 4-wheel drum brakes on the car when I got the car.
4-wheel drum.
4-wheel drum. So
I've never heard about that before.
Yeah, man. So I didn't have no catch. And so the first thing on the list was to go 4-wheel disc brakes. Did that. Pieced some stuff together, fabbed up the rest of stuff. Did the engine with a did a 1835 cc engine with all
VW engine.
VW engine with chrome tin work and a pair of 44 Weber downdrafts. It was the compression on that engine was a little high for the street, but it was good, you know, while it lasted. And then, you know, at that point, now when I started to feel the pep in it, I said, what? All right.
More.
Yeah, and you know, so change the color of the car. Cause when I got the car was in a white, you know, and then I redid the interior. I really went all out at that point. And then, I would say maybe a couple months, I'd say 6, 7, 8 months into it, I met in an accident out by just before entering Bogwa Gorge.
With the bug?
With the bug, yeah. A VW Jetta man in a left-hand drive Jetta was flying coming into Kingston, hook up underneath a Tata bus, and him decided him going to overtake. And by the time I was in the front of that car, pull out, and I swing to the left. He managed to hit the right-hand back fender, take off the wheel, and sent me up onto a banking, and the car. It didn't turn over, but it took off, and we were just hovering at some point, obviously on the road, over the road. And by the time I came back down, I hit about 8 cars after that. The last car actually stopped me from turning over.
What?
Yeah. The total accident was 13 cars that day. So and so we said, well, myself and a good friend of mine in the car, and we never seen a glass broke. We figure, well, all right, we're always bodily pieces intact. So
this was like around what, 90s or 80s?
90s, like I said,
early.
1991.
Okay.
It hit the bank. Put this way, when the guy hit me, I know I had served so hard because at that time there was a big berm on the left hand side, and for how I never end up over the berm and flipping or whatever it is, but we just braced ourselves, and we didn't hear any more tire marks, tire squealing after that. So I knew we were airborne at that point. And when we hit the ground, when we came back on the road, the car was just spinning, and I was just bouncing I was just ricocheting off of the different cars. I was till I stopped, you know. And the man the last car I hit in reverse, because by the time I was spinning and I realized what was happening, I managed to kind of get it under control and kind of just keep it from going anywhere else. Never had any brakes at that point because it took off the rear wheel and caliper. And so the guy who I ended up hitting last, he saw everything and described it to me. And when he slammed on his brakes, a car ran up into the back of him. The car that hit him, somebody went into the back of him. So it was just one big cluster.
Wow. Did the Jetta guy stop though?
I've never had a choice. I ended up in the cane piece. Never had a choice.
Wow. So we're talking about the same chassis that you have today?
Believe it or not, same car. Same car. So,
wow.
So after that, I said, well, time for another redo. So we did say every time something happened, I change rims. It was just the norm, I guess. Change rims, change color.
Yes.
We did that, and there was a little video. I was part of a VW club at the time,
yes.
And we just cruised around town, had fun, and I started to feel the need for speed a little more. And at that point, we had put on before I put on the wing on the car.
Yeah.
One day, I really decided to step in it, and we're on the ferry, and with a VW Bug, once it starts touch 100 miles an hour, it is the most unnerving feeling you'll ever feel. And the car just starts to do this little funky movement with you, and I'm not time before I decided to just have a mind of its own. So I say, I have to solve this problem. So Raj Jadasingh and myself, we decided to, let us, well, before we got to that stage, I always had the idea of incorporating that wing on the car, and then did it. And one Sunday, we went out to Portmore, and we say, Raj, let's just see how effective this wing is really, and we tore some newspaper strips, and we put it on the bonnet, on the hood, on the tail, down the back glass, just so we can see, and then
the air is flowing.
Right, so Raj was in his pickup, and I was right next to it. I was driving next to him, and we're going. By this time now, Portmore was still being developed, so right where the new highway section is, where the
roundabout is to go on the north-south.
Yeah, around that area. There were no houses there. Matalan had planned. He had already started to develop. He paved the roads and everything, but houses weren't built yet. So we went out there, and just drove right alongside, and we wanted to see how the air flowed over the car, and then we noticed the improvements that had taken place. So yes, righty, Dantry, yes, big up. So once we did that, now the next plan was we started to hear, because by this time, there was always racing at Lakes Pen. At that time, the Vernon Field was shut down because it was a ritual every end of month. You go to Vernon Field, and that was it. So it was Lakes Pen. And when Lakes Pen gets shut down, then we said to Raj, listen, well, we need to find somewhere to race now. So we heard that some guys, racing taking place over by Portmore. So, and then Raj was telling me one Sunday, Raj went out there and saw this guy with a bug, turbocharged, and him keeping up everybody. Now this is Morgan. This is Margie with the real.
Oh, Bryn Morgan.
Yes, man, Bryn Morgan, man.
I never know he had a bug.
Yes, man, I deal with them and that, So the following Sunday, we say, Raj, I forgot meet over there. So we go out there, man, and we watch a race, man, and they say we watch him run a Evo. He might give it Evo 3. Either brother give him about 3 car length to start.
Yeah.
To start, right?
Wow.
And when me see Morgan, by the time he draw a third gear, him gone. The Evo is nowhere to be found. Right?
Whoa.
So I say, yes, I want to build one of them engines. So we went up talk with him, and ever since that, Morgan and myself have been good friends. Morgan helped me, steered me in the direction to get the different bits and pieces, what I needed to get. Once I had all the bits and pieces, then myself and Raj were, unlocked. We were building the engine, doing everything, plumbing, And then Morgan helped me with the jetty, the tuning. Because by the time it's still carburetor, there ain't no fuel injection, nothing, right?
Right.
And you know, and when I did it, I said, I want AC in the car, right? So did the car up, turbo, intercooled, AC. At that time, I didn't have the VW that had AC down there. So I was driving up and down and having fun with the AC, and then you start going to Portmore now and start exercise yourself.
Yeah.
And so Morgan said, how much boost you want? I said, all I want is 10 pounds, nothing more. He laughed. I said, all right, 10 pounds. So we set it for 10 pounds. Well, that never lasts a week, right? I said, all right. I said, we go back out to Spanish Town and say, Morgan, make we get some more. Maybe get some more. I said, just give me about 5 more pounds. Alright, no problem. So
hey, and the speed bug that I buy you in the man.
Yeah, man. Let's mash up like this. So for 15 pounds, and we go for a test drive.
Yeah.
I said, Lord Jesus, Mr. Maggie, come. All right, we can go back again. We can reject it. We can go a little higher. We'll go. Put it this way. When I leave out there, so, right?
Yeah.
The evening.
Yeah.
At 28.5 pounds of boost, I run in the car.
Massa.
Right? And I have extra fuel pump in there. So, you know, if I go on high boost, I turn on the fuel pump.
Yes.
And the car was I had the most fun, most enjoyment then, you know.
Explain, because a lot of person might be wondering, but this man running the fastest rotary powered bug in the world. How you mean he used to have more fun then? Explain.
Yeah, because you can drive the car every day. You think in a night see a car where you can only use at the track now. Sit down for a stand. You know what I mean? That's the problem.
Got you.
But there's no, you can't tell anybody, any racer, when in building a race car that you know, about not having that much fun. You have to let them go through the cycle. And when you go through the cycle, after you get all right out of the system, then you start realize, man, you have the most fun when you kind of jump
drive
in the car,
machine.
go down the road, drive it, enjoy it, and you come back and you park it. Right? But ain't nobody going to tell you, when somebody telling you that during the process, you got to tell them they're an idiot.
Yeah, true. Well, you know what? One quick second, Damian, let me just give a shout out to the sponsors of our Instagram live series: Kenty Racing, Jamaica Race Drivers Club, Lubit Limited, WAP Performance, Squickly Wrecking and Haulage, Boostain, Horsepower in a Bottle, Kaizen Wrecking, Kaizen Car Rentals, Rocket Ship Courier Services, Zidodge Performance, and Massive Auto Parts. Yes, Damian.
Yeah, man.
So 28.5 pound of boost. You leave over Portmore with.
Over Spanish Town.
Spanish Town.
Yeah.
So what happened next now? Burnham?
No Burnham yet. So then no, at that point we did a little more racing out at Portmore, but every week them block off Matalan would end up putting some big old concrete things all across the road, and so me and Raj are the instigator them now, you know. So the minute we see them block off one area, me and Raj go somewhere else and mark out another quarter mile, right? And Matalan them couldn't keep up with it. And at one point when we run out of space for places, then we just go back to our old spot and move and tie up some rope to the back of Raj pickup and back of my pickup, and we draw the old concrete something out of the way.
All right. You know what I want people to know? It's not like you guys were being unruly, you know. It was just that need for speed.
Yeah.
And at the time, there was no sanction events.
Nope.
Right? So there was somewhere where the youngsters had to channel that energy.
And it's better we did it there, where there's no traffic than on the street. Yeah.
Thank you.
Because, listen, the reality of it is, we're all illegally street raced, right?
Yeah.
There's no sugarcoat in that, and you know some people afraid to say it, but we're all guilty of it, and that is the real truth. I mean, it was an unspoken thing. At 1 o'clock every Saturday night, you go down to
Everybody know.
Yeah, you go Manor Park, right? Manor Park.
Them days when you never have cell phone and things for you link up a WhatsApp group.
Nah, man, that carrier pigeon we have. What's wrong with you?
Every man just know say 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
I link up.
Yeah. And you end up down a Bunny Beckford SO gas station and everybody park up and everybody start run off them out and then whoever want to race, we drive go round till we get back round to the top side, near Norbrook side of the other side of the gully, so we can go straight down. Straight down.
Yeah.
Right? And the bad thing about it is the finish line would be about where the Constant Spring Market used to be. Right? So and then after a couple of times we say, boy, this is not really right, So let's forget that. Then we started to at that point somewhere along the line, the JMC, and then after we used to go for burgers and all sorts of stuff. But anyway, at some point, the JMC, I believe Larry Henriquez and I think Bruce Souza at the time, we noticed that on the calendar, the JMC calendar, that there was a drag meet. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it might have been in April. They had it on the calendar. And then we're looking puzzled now to say,
what is this?
What is this? Where them going to have that?
Right.
We want a piece of that action now. So we went. So the word spread like wildfire, and we all ended up at the JMC meeting. We used to meet. They used to meet every Wednesday night. I think it was, or every Friday. I think it was every Wednesday night at Curfew Place. When we showed up, because the thing is, the rallying scene and the circuit racing scene consider the drag racing scene the most unruly set, right?
Yeah.
So hey, everybody have them opinion. That's how it is. So when the turnout, I don't think they were expecting the turnout that they got. And they realized there's a whole lot of new faces showing up. And then I think I must have said something at some point asking, what is this about this drag meet now? That is what I'm really here for. And Larry, I think Larry was explaining that, they're considering it, but they haven't put any details yet together or whatever. So we say, all right. I said, I'll be willing to help in any way I can. Somewhere along the line within maybe a month, and this was earlier in the year, so I think this was probably about January, February or so. And
of which year, roughly?
Roughly. Must have been about 92, 93.
Okay.
Maybe. No, lie. It will be earlier. It will be later than that. I would say about 96. I think it was 96. And then next thing we know, we see it come off the calendar. Somebody say, what's up to this? I say, boy, I guess there was just too much resistance within the JMC about it.
Yeah.
And so at that point, nothing really surprised me. So we say, all right, fine. So we went back to our regular thing. We go to Vernon Field. We're doing a racing. And one Sunday, we're out there and went out to, and some of those pictures, as a matter of fact, those pictures that I sent you earlier, with the Mini and with Dwight and Crazy Starlet and thing.
Yeah.
I think it was on that same weekend. Went out there and racing. I was having fun. I mean, the car was on point, running. The car was still all speed, and it was just running, right? And then later in the evening, myself and Mark Robinson, Spy, he had his black SCR, Nissan SCR that he had brought down, turbocharged, and wicked car.
Machine.
Yeah, man. And so big matchup now, and at one point when I'm ahead of Mark, all of a sudden, I was in the right lane, all of a sudden I see this car pulling right out in front of me. I say, is this going either in very badly or very lucky? So I was hard on the brakes. I couldn't swerve right, left, because I knew Mark was coming.
coming.
I couldn't go right because spectators are there, so I just had to try and keep the car in control as long as possible till I had some clearance. The minute Mark ended up passing me now, the car broke loose, and I mean it went for a spin. And when I got it under control and it stopped off to the side, when the car stopped, when I came out of the car, I saw a friend of mine standing about 10 feet from behind the car. He was frozen. He just couldn't believe what was happening. Him freeze. He couldn't move. At that point, I realized I could have hit him. And just lie down on the ground and say, "Thank you, Lord." I say, I never raise up here again till this thing is organized. And me and Raj say, "No, we have to do something." And with Raj and myself at first start to hatch a plan, and then my wife Susan was also instrumental in it, and then we did a bunch of flyers, and we figured, well, my house can be too far. Raj was the most central location, so we said we went around. I went to all of the well-known people, racers. Said, "Listen, come and give us your thoughts, your views on what we're going to propose." Just so we could get some feedback. And let me tell you, we weren't prepared for the amount of people that showed up at Raj's house.
Raj was telling me the other night.
Yeah, and it really gave us a lot of encouragement.
Yes.
So, the biggest question comes, where we're going to race. We say, well, the only place we have to race is Burnham Field. Well, them say, but we can't get Burnham Field to use legally. Well, at the beginning of this whole thing, remember I tell you, when people tell me can't, that is when
you're right.
So, and my wife is the same way. So we say, all right. So it was myself, my wife, Susan, Raj, Bryn Morgan, Desmond Lee, Earl Wright, Mikey Walker, Raymond Webb, and we all came together and said, listen, we said we gave the crowd, we gave our audience an option. So listen, we can either structure this as a club where we run it as a club, or we do it as a business. When we originally started, I was never big on doing it as a business. Yeah, I believe strictly just doing it as a club. And since the JMC and the powers that be kept frowning upon us, I really didn't give two hoots at that point. I said, well, them can't stop us now. So either them come, is either them figure a way to work with us, or we're going to be there. So we approached the person who had the lease rights to Burnham Field. There was one man who had the rights to use Burnham Field legally for part of his business. So we approached him, explained to him what we wanted to do, explained to him what our complete plan was, plus to give back to the community, help the community, and provide employment for the community on race weekend.
Proper business proposal.
Yeah. And after that meeting, we had an agreement. And when we came back, I think the following week, we had another meeting at Raj's house, and everybody showed up. And we said, ladies and gentlemen, we now have somewhere to race. Well, that was it. We had to form JDRA at that point, and people were willing to make financial contributions, because you always have some in the crowd say, where the money coming from? Where the money there? Where the money coming from? It was a handful of us took up money out of our pockets and put in there, and other people made financial contributions as well, right? And so the first so we started to put plans in place, get the rule book structured, and we structured our rules based on NHRA, which is in guide, it follows the FIA's rules and regulations and what have you, right? So we say, all right, no problem. Then we say, oh, okay, we have to run it by the JMC. I really am told at this point, I really want to know what the JMC's purpose in life was, apart from just giving us pure problem. I personally didn't see the use for them. But so be. I will try and follow the rules with that one. So we did that, got everything approved, blah blah blah, and then we came to a date for our first event. No, mark you, we never had any major money per se to also purchase timing equipment. So we figured, well, the first event we're going to say we'll have set up a Christmas tree, and then we set up something at the bottom just to show a wind light for whichever lane. So myself and remember, I believe Raj and a couple other guys and Desmond Lee, we fabricated the Christmas tree, right? Built the Christmas tree, and then we set up we used a handheld what they call a practice tree.
Yes.
So to practice with, so we connected that to the Christmas tree, so we could actually have an official start, so you could see the lights and the stage and everything.
Okay.
And this was, so the event would have been on a Sunday. But Friday night, somebody broke into my house and stole power supplies, stole stuff out of my car, out of my garage.
What?
Yeah. This was the Friday night. So Saturday morning, now when we're ready to do a trial run in the driveway, and I started pull out stuff and I realized stuff missing. I said, Jesus, please.
Wow.
So we had to scramble and find at the time replacement stuff. We did that. A lot of people don't even know that even took place. So we got everything squared away, and we got out of Vernon Field about 3-4 o'clock in the morning. And met with we already made preparations with some of the local guys down there to help. And so we started to set up and everything. And now this way, now you're familiar with the current direction of travel for racing at Vernon Field. Okay. Originally, it was the opposite direction. So we would start from the bottom near, not as far as where Gimme Bit was, but just past where the runways cross, right? Just a little further back there, right? So where the runways intersected, just past the current finish line, we were racing from the opposite direction, coming that way. So, so it was all wrong, naturally, but because you're running towards where all the traffic is coming into, right? So anyway, we did not expect to have so many people turn out. Spectators won, and then we had over 100 competitors the first time out. Yeah, the first time out.
In 1997, thereabout.
Yeah. So at that point now, we deemed it a success, and we said, all right, we raised enough money to purchase new timing equipment. And so we contacted, I believe it was Rotary, and we came up, they put together a system for us, a package, and so, and then once we had that in our possession, we then reversed the direction, the current direction now of racing.
Right.
I know, and with all of this, Bruce D'Souza, rest his soul, was very instrumental in keeping the JMC at bay, and he was the intermediate between JMC and us, right? Because Bruce used to, at one point, I believe Bruce was the chairman at one point for JMC, and then he was, after that he was on the board and what have you, and he himself and Larry help us navigate the waters, because with the bigger heads there, we were still getting the friction. So but then no, like I said, the motoring club was also, that was a fight. And
Yes.
Gordon Brandon was very instrumental in assisting us because he helped provide the insurance for the events for us, or because we had to have insurance and all sort of hoop jumping and what have you. So anyway, we did it, and whatever we had to do, we got it done. And it after a while, after a couple of years, I mean, I personally got tired of trying to organize and race, because imagine now, me as a racer and then as an organizer, it was a real challenge. And one of the biggest problems we were having is that whether it's car or bike, we believe everybody should be able to race. And the backward thinking in Jamaica when it comes to motorcycle racing and car racing and trying to get insurance, we couldn't allow the motorcycles to drag race against each other because the insurance companies wouldn't allow it.
Oh.
So it was just a real backward way of thinking. And I remember one particular event. Now, trying to tell motorcyclists, if you think drag racers are unruly, the motorcycle man, them unruly.
Oh Lord, look here. I mean, trust me. Let me just interject. Them have a set of man now in the day, man, out here now, with the young them, Boy, yo, trust me. It's a different set of man, them, man. It's like, boy, and not stereotyping the thing, but
No,
man, they're difficult, man. Very difficult.
And, one of the main reasons why we had to try and regulate the drag racing, because things were getting really out of hand. I mean, there was major accidents at Vernon Field prior to the formation of the JDRA. People lost their lives.
Wow.
Unfortunately, I witnessed all of them.
Wow.
And it was hitting a little too close to home. Yeah. So we said, we decided, listen, if there's going to be any future for the sport, we have to all come together and do it, right? And so we as a group, we did it. And so now put on our events, and you always have the motorcycle guys showing up and everything. And one particular event, a group of man just decided, so them will go through the barrier, them and everything, and work them. We try to stop them, work them way onto the starting line, and the two man them take off. I always tell them you can't do it, and they say, all right, no problem. You must come back up to the top of the track, Well, my man, one of the riders, decided to bust a wheelie, and when him pick up a wobble and drop with the bike, then the bike catch on fire. So me and my unruly self, me tell the marshal, don't use a fire extinguisher upon it. We need it for our racing. Them never there for it. Make it burn. Right? Not wasting no money, no time for no fire extinguisher for no unruly people. You see, when the ambulance don't scrape up the bread, having an ambulance and carry him back up to the starting line, and the sliding wind, I think the ambulance must have been a Toyota Hiace or something like that. And when me open the sliding window, and me looking at one amount of cloth fly out of my mouth after this brother. And
no, I can just imagine.
He must go on with him antics. I think a junior buzzer catch me mid-flight. I go through the window for put on a lick on the man. Right? I'm saying, it's at this point, I waste my time with this thing, So, and then, cool down, couple weeks later and everything, and another episode that took place out there, which I think was really that was the turning point for me, where I said, I'm going to step aside. We had an event, and again, being an organizer and a racer, those two do not go together.
Yeah.
And so we're out there from 3 o'clock in the morning and setting up track, running cable, getting barriers set up, everything. Anyway, later in the day, myself and Terence Chin had a race, and the day was hot. I remember we're sitting in just outside by the burnout box and waiting for the race to start. And I mean, I sweating like a pig in the car. Anyway, race start, and I can tell you, I remember when the lights went green. I go 1, 2, 3. I remember nothing else after that, apart from waking up in Maypen Hospital. So
what?
Yeah, so so the good part of the day was missing right there, So come to find
that
out,
was just that was because of a lot of pressure.
No, I got dehydrated.
Wow.
Apparently, I ended up winning the race. Just after the finish line, the car went, this is right by where the 2 runways cross, right?
Yeah.
The car shot over to the right. I was I think I must have been in the left lane. The car shot over to the right, and they said they saw the car spin towards the bushes and then came back out. By the time the ambulance came down there, I was out of the car on the ground. I remember nothing.
Up to this day?
Up to this day, I just going from what was told to me.
Wow.
And then the doctor at the time who was there, because we had to have two doctors on site along with the ambulance. And so when they brought me back up to that ambulance was always parked up by the starting line side over to where the vendors would be normally, right? Not where the vendors, but where the timing equipment would be and things. So over to the right-hand side, and they administered the IV and everything, and apparently at that point I went into cardiac arrest at the track. So they took me, rushed me to the hospital. I got me, got me back, and then, apparently while they were taking me out of the ambulance at Maypen Hospital, I went into cardiac arrest again. So at that point, after they did what they had to do to me, and I just remember waking up in the night in the hospital. So at that point, I realized there was really no need for me to be organizing or driving. And when I check it out, I say organizing is not my favorite thing to do. So I go into race. So whoever wants to take this outside can take my position and do it. So so when we had our next annual general meeting, I mean, from that incident, it has it has damaged one of the valves in my heart, but everything working fine. Yeah. It was the dehydration was really that bad. So I didn't realize dehydration really could have done that to you. But anyway.
Wow.
So that's why it's very important for racers to stay hydrated. Yeah, man.
Interesting.
So at some point I decided enough was enough, and I just took a back seat, let them do their thing, and nobody had any wanted anything. Then I'll help. But racing, all I want is to show up and race, and I don't want to pack up no barrier, deal with nothing. No,
man.
Right?
Yeah.
So I mean, what we got help from everybody, Nantry. A lot of the racers were instrumental in helping us. Nantry, Pretty Blue, Junior Buzzer, Desmond Lee. Desmond was on the board as well, right? Morgan. I mean, there's so many people that help make this sport, or help make it legal for what it is today, because it wasn't legal, and still getting the fight from the JMC, right? The biggest waste of time I ever see. But anyway, and at some point, there was with all of this, they when we secured the right to use the place, use Vernon Field, we were told we only have 1 year. And this was in 1997 when we actually had our first event, right? So we said,
Yes.
all right, so basically at the end of 97, we come 98, there, you know, we're not going to have nowhere to run again. So we had to try and figure out something else. So because the current, this whole plan at Vernon Field know about being an airport. From 19 back how long them a plan this, you know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, believe you me. And 98 come around, nothing. So we continued. 99, same thing, we continued. And it's around that time when by the time we had our first child, second child came along just around that next time there, and we said, all right, I have to take a little break, and we just have to do a thing. And then I think 2001 is when I migrated. I decided at that point there was nothing left for me there there was no way for me to pursue my true passion reasonably, you know, without breaking the bank, and at the same time comfortably. And you know, in my travels before, you go to the tracks here and you see good track, you know. We don't have that down there. So you know, 2001 or so, I migrated and then shipped the car up.
Well, let me ask you though. Couldn't you have gotten a bug in the States? Or, I mean, what made you decide to, well, man, I'm taking the bug with me, you know, shipping the bug to the US?
Yeah, but that really wouldn't be right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That really wouldn't be right. So,
I mean, it's a baby.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
That car has more sentimental value to my family than anything else. I proposed to my wife in that car.
Really?
That was my daily driving car. Yeah, that was my daily driving car. And you know, I used to carry all sort of equipment and stuff in that. And so, you know, my wife told me if I get rid of the car, that means I'm going to get rid of she. But that's not the case. But I really didn't want to leave it. So I, you know, found every way possible and I brought the car with me. You know, a lot of people think that it's a different car, not the same one. But it's the same car.
Same
car, still sitting on the same stock chassis from Vernon Field. The only thing I did differently was just putting all new piping inside the car.
Okay. Well, tell me something. There's a car that was called Ribena. Was it your car? There was a bug that was famously called Ribena, you know. It was kind of purplish and
well, no, Ribena wasn't the name of my car.
Okay, maybe Ribena was after.
Probably.
You know, but what I know for a fact though, you and Bryn Morgan, based on what you said earlier, would have paved the way and opened the door for Volkswagen bugs to be recognized as a machine.
Yeah, I know. Well, even before that, you know, you used to have two guys that used to race bugs before out at Burnham. You know. Dalton had about Dalton Williams and then Mikey Walker. Right? Back in the day, those two were the two VW terrorists at that point. Right? But you know, as things progressed, those cars were on the sideline and nothing happened with them. And we're, you know, Mikey did make a pass or two. Once we got the JDR set up, because Mikey was also on the board, and you know, Yeah, he did make a pass. He did show up at one event or two events with the car, right? And we helped him. You know, I was myself and Morgan helped him a lot with that, right? And then Mike
Yeah.
ended up migrating, so that all of that did, went away.
I see some persons in the comments saying that Courtney Clark from Westmoreland.
Yes.
He's a car that was known to be right.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even realize that they gave Courtney a car that name.
Yeah, man. So you migrated. You took the car up.
Took the car up. Took a little while, naturally, because I still had business. We still had business in Jamaica because we had a sign company there, right?
Okay.
So we also used to manufacture coffee bags, Blue Mountain coffee bags, for years.
Oh, cool.
So,
cool.
Yeah. So it took about 3 years, 4 years. I believe that before I actually starts the work on the car again. Because you come back to this place and
you have to settle. You have to settle.
Yeah. And it's not happening over. So we did that. And then I became friends with Roger Case from who had a shop called Jap Tricks, a Jamaican as well.
Okay.
And he had a Turbo 2 RX-7. Now, mark you, up until this point, I was not a lover of a rotary engine, naturally aspirated. Not a lover.
So, one quick question though, Damian. Did you get a best time in Jamaica from your VW setup?
Yeah, the best official time when the car actually decided to run, I believe was like 11.2 or something like that.
What?
Right? Yeah, 11.2 or something like that. But when there was a Marco, but during that time, the car went through like two different stages of in its drag phase, right? And the first phase was where I never wanted to cut the car, right? And Roger was saying, listen, man, you have to cut out this and cut out that. I never want to cut out one thing out of the car. I was so adamant not to do that. So I spend the money on different suspension components and when I say at the time when I was talking with the VW guru in California, and so listen, man, this suspension is only good for about 350 horsepower. Anything over that, you're gonna have a problem keeping the car straight. I said, no, man, I'm good. 350, I ain't making that. That's good. All right. So spend all this money, put it on. Would the car go straight? Backside. So at that point, we start realizing, I have a little problem. So I went to the dyno one day. There was a dyno off a Lyndhurst Road. And the dyno the car made 500 horsepower. So I said, well, I got a problem. No. So
we're talking about, in what year this we're talking about now?
Shoot, this would have to be like 98, 99.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Back then I couldn't keep a gearbox in that car, right? Never run for myself gearbox. But anyway, so realize, okay, I'm making way more than what the suspension can handle. So, I finally had to break down and start cut the car. And redo the rear suspension, set up with ladder bar suspension and what have you. And at that point, I'm sure Raj was jumping for joy.
He finally get to cut it up.
Yeah, man, cut out it backside, man, cut it out. Anyway, so we did that, and the car had a different stance at that point, and so there was a particular Sunday, myself and Desmond. We, because we had the timing equipment to our disposal, right? Went out to Vernon Field and set it up, and we did a couple test runs, and so it was way better than 9 seconds. Well, I won't say not way better than 9 seconds. It was way better than 10 seconds. It was like 9 something, high 9, and happier than a pig in shit, but I could never run that on a race day. So it is not official. You know what I mean? Come race day,
Interesting.
everything want to pop up. But you know,
No, but hold on the day, man. We're talking about, although it's unofficial, yes, we do understand, but if you can be getting those figures, I mean those times from back in the 90s.
yeah. Listen, VW,
Wow.
we're running those times from way back then, you know, long before that, you know. You know,
Wow.
I will just want to come up later on, but not in Jamaica running those times, over in California, you know.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But you know, so yeah, once I saw that
Yeah.
really, you know, really lit a fire under my backside to say, yeah, keep pushing.
For sure.
But
Mm-hmm.
you know, the further you climb up that tree, the more your backside get exposed. So it became a challenge everywhere you go, right? So really, actually, 9 seconds back then was nothing for a bug. Bug I do it long time, right? But
Interesting.
we felt the accomplishment that yeah, it is possible. So
Yes.
so we say, all right, no problem. And after at some point now, we started to have issues with the stock VW block. So me and my ultimate mad wisdom decided I'm going to put in a racing block and blah blah blah. You know, them willing to sell you any and everything, right? Under Jesus Christ faith, to sell it, right? Now I'll tell you everything, you know.
Yeah.
And we as Jamaicans now, we believe say we can do any and everything.
Sure.
So put in this hell of an engine, and I mean it kept.
This is the rotary now.
No. The rotary didn't happen until I brought it to Florida. So this was a full all aluminum racing motor from Scat, right? And Morgan helped me, Loxley helped me put this thing together and get it figured out. And I couldn't keep. It kept torching pistons or hurting the bearings. And you know, at the end of the day, when I say, you know what, forget this.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it was a simple solution, a simple problem. You know, simple problem, and it was just the oil pump. It was just the oil pump. The motor was just when the car launched, it would cavitate, and they didn't tell me at the time that I needed to have a special oil pump. So you know, but
so a couple bearings later, you found that out.
Yeah, enough bearing later, crankshaft later, rods later, piston later.
Lord.
Yeah. So I say, no, forget this. And again, that starts to happen to the tail end of when I started to slow down with it because, you know, I had to, you know, family and, you know, new child and everything. So I say, you know what, all right, enough is enough, and park it for a little bit, and then we decide we're going to migrate. Brought it here. I'd say maybe 3 years, 4 years later, I decided to then I met Roger from Japtrix, and they had a race car, a second gen RX-7. So we go to the track one day with them, and I see this thing take off the rotted, and it run low 9 seconds. Right? And I look in, I don't see much engine inside this thing. I see a big turbo. Not even a big turbo. The turbo, compared to today's turbos, is nowhere near big. And the car run, no problem. I said, damn. And I look and I start sizing it up. I said, this thing, this little engine is small. I said, perfect, man. So I said to my wife Susan, I said, listen, I think I can do this thing. You know, I can make this thing work. So talk to Roger, and Roger steer me in the right direction to acquire a motor. And at that time, no, I looking to see if there was anybody else doing it, so I could have some point of reference as to any information.
Right.
R&D. Yeah, nobody. And then, you know, the more people you book up, boy, no, that's not going to work, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I said, all right, no problem. I'm going to make it work. And so the process began. I did it.
Yes.
So when I took the car over to Roger helped me a lot. He said, he gave me a space in his shop and said, put the car over here and you can do all the fabrication work you want on the car and build the car.
And this is in Florida, right?
Yeah, in West Palm Beach, yeah. And so I think I took about close to a year by the time I cut everything out that was in the car when it came from Jamaica. Put in new chromatic piping, redid a lot of things, the front suspension, redid the rear suspension. And then when Roger said the transmission now, him laugh, that transmission not gonna last in a day. He say, yeah, but it's all right. I'll get a pass out right. So when we finally did everything to the car and went to our first event, keeping the good old tradition alive, boy. First lift clutch in my leg of the whole gearbox on the ground. Whoa! This man, every gear, everything drop out of ground. So I was all right. Back to the drawing board again, and then we bought it's an aftermarket transmission called a Mendiola. Much bigger. The ring gear is as big as a Ford 9-inch ring gear. It's twice the size of a VW box. Eh?
Mendiola?
Mendiola, yeah. They use it a lot in the off-road series for the buggies and stuff over in California. So he said, all right, we're going to whip up that one now. And then at that time, Morgan came up on one of his trips. And Morgan helped me fab it up and fab up the brackets and put the, get it.
Bryn Morgan, right?
Yeah, Bryn Morgan, yeah, man.
Yeah.
And Morgan is the godfather for one of my daughters, so we're close.
Cool.
And we did that. And starter, we went to the dyno. First thing we do, boom, 500 horsepower. And with everything else, you start to have problems with any new combination and, so yeah, hurt engine, hurt gearbox, hurt engine, hurt gearbox. But I kept seeing the potential. And one weekend, leading up to a particular weekend, I don't remember which weekend it was, but I said to the family, I said, listen, I want to go test, but I don't want to test in Florida. Well, let's go to some event, a VW event up in Georgia it was. Let's just take the drive up there, spend the weekend up there and we'll go test.
Yeah.
So I say, yeah, no problem. So load up and we head up there. And at the time, my guys, a good friend of mine at the time was with me, my family, and my buddy, Timmy, I believe was with me. Yeah, Timmy was with me. And when we get to the place the Saturday, because we're supposed to do some testing Saturday. The event was Saturday, Sunday. When we reach up to this place here, snow flurries. We drive how much hour for come back up snow flurry. And when we decided to say, all right, and it's about, we reached the track about, say, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And when we open up the trailer door now and go look on the car, I see the whole front of the fiberglass bonnet, everything mashed up on the front of the car. I say, what the hell? Not more than a rear strap broke along the journey. And every time we step on the brake, the car run right up into the golf cart and just mashed up. So in some nasty 30-degree weather, you want to see we do fiberglass work inside the trailer. so the event nothing happened on nothing happened on the Saturday. So Sunday we had everything ready and made the first shakedown pass, and it was okay. I had to abort it halfway down. So okay, made some adjustments. And lo and behold, the second pass, that's when I made my first 8-second run in the car. The car went 890 something. And it was cold, but 890 something. And I was happier than a pig in shit at that point.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. And
I cannot imagine.
Yeah. At that point, it never mattered to me what happened. Because as far as I'm concerned, one goal has been accomplished at that point, right?
Yes.
So Say, all right, yeah, we're going to go back again. Later, after the run, because we're only making exhibition passes, because at this point there's no class for this car in a VW sanctioned event, right? I am the black sheep of the family, the outcast, because I show up with a VW
because of the engine.
Exactly.
Right.
And listen, the VW community here is a very special community, you know. So that's different. So anyway, go back out. The first pass was like a 898 or 899. I said, all right, I'm going better this run this time now. So go back out and set it and kill now. And I think I run like mid 890 something, 895 or something like that. But don't joke, I blew up the engine and I pop up the gearbox when I run then. But after all of that, yeah, man, engine blow and hurt the tranny at the same time. But it never happened to me. I was happy that it. They said that was the sweetest drive come back, man. So it started. That is at that point now. You know, it's. I said there's no turning back. You know, and I think after I had an accident up at the track up here. When it not major, but still, you know, each time you cross a certain horsepower threshold, you start to find the weaknesses of parts that are on the shelf. And I started to experience major problems where I was breaking axles. And you know, at first, when the first axle broke, I said, oh, maybe it was a bad axle. All right. And then one night we were at the track, and when I let the clutch out, the car turned immediately. It just turned immediately to the left and straight into the wall. Whoa. So I realized at that point the left axle broke, because, you know, we're running a spool. So whichever wheel have the power, it's going to turn. Right. So realize at that point now stock axles are no longer, they're not stock axles, but the aftermarket axles built for these for this configuration, it does not cut in it. So there were no other options. So I went back, I said, you know what? I'm going to buy 2 sets of axles, keep one as spare. All right. So fix the car, put in a set of axles, go to the track. And the first launch with the brand new axles, it snapped both axles right there on the line. Shear them clean off. I said, well, all right. Yeah, so I said, well, okay, time go back to the drawing board. And you see, the thing is, you know, with this combination, because there's no reference. There's nobody for me to reference. So I have to be coming up with new ideas, new ways to fix or counteract the problems I'm having. And so I said, all right, I got to get a set of axles made. So custom axles. So I had a company called Mark Williams Engineering. I sent them the axle, a good axle and an axle that broke, so they could see where the problem was. And then they made a set for me out of 300M material. So they said, listen, this is good up to about 600 horsepower. I said, all right, I'll be good with that, no problem. You know that. So anyway, it lasted for a little bit. I got to 650, everything good. And then by this time, no, Roger wasn't tuning the car for me. I had another friend of mine, a Puerto Rican. He started to tune the car, and we started to go up on horsepower. So at one particular dyno session, the car went from. What actually happened was I took off the stock intake manifold throttle body setup and we put on a different intake manifold and throttle body setup, and instantly with the tune and that setup, I gained 100. We increased by 100 horsepower. So we moved from 650 to 750 horsepower just like that. So went to the truck. I say, feeling good, and broke one of those custom axles. And I say, a new problem again. So,
yes, sir.
Yeah, so I had to go into the whole box here a little bit and start to. I had an idea, came up with an idea of an axle and a spool setup. So I called my friend, friend slash one of the guys companies I always buy my internal components for the gearbox, the transmissions from. And, you know, he has always helped me through the years and give me tell me what might work, what might not. Anyway, so I said, listen, I have an idea and I need to get a set of axles and a spool made. He said, what do you mean? I said, I have an idea for a custom spool and axle setup. He says, yeah. I said, send him a picture. I said, all right, let me send him a picture. Send him a picture. Him say, I beat you to it. I actually have a prototype sitting on my desk. I said, what? I said, good. Who you going to test it? Him say, well, he already made a commitment to somebody there locally to test it. Once he gets the feedback, then he'll set me up with one. I said, no problem. I waited like 5 months. Nothing. I said, listen to me. Build me a set. I don't want you to give. I will pay for it. Just let me test it and I give you the feedback. So he said, you know what? I'll just give you my cost. So he told me what his cost was. I said, no problem. You can get the money. Boom. I had it in a couple of days. We put it in, and that thing has been the best thing since sliced bread. So
wow.
It has
It solved that problem.
Yes, man. Yeah, man. But you know, before we actually left, before the car left Jamaica, I have to definitely make a mention about this because you know it's always hard to get any sort of corporate sponsorship for any sort of, right? And in the last half, Terry Ramlanan and PPG, and I don't know if you know ever heard this guy named Dennis Priestley, the wickedest man around.
Yeah.
PPG sponsored me color to repaint the car. The color of my choice. So the last color that most people would have remembered would have been that nice candy apple purple, which was done in by PPG paint, and it was beautiful. So anyway, so back to the whole axle thing now. So started to use the axles and everything was fine, and over time. At that point, now the car was still in that purple, but it was still tattered. You know what I mean? A lot of battle scars and stuff, and so
need a redo.
You need a little freshen up, yeah. So I decided I'm going to just step outside of. I always like bright colors, So but I decided to go a different route, and which is the current color now. So a friend of mine, the guy who painted the car first time for me in Jamaica, he was living up here, and we ended up, he ended up painting the car for me right in the garage. I said, listen, I don't want nothing flashy, because as far as me concerned, it'll get shipped up at some point. I mean, not worrying about no paint job, right? After that, the PPG paint job. That made me, I was so fussy about every nick, scratch, and I just couldn't deal with that anymore. So, so I did, we just put on the cheapest paint, all a good, shoot it good and everything, no problem. And so, I say, everybody up here give them car a name. So I said, all right, well, let me come up with a name. They're beating up me, and one of my teammates, one of the guys, crew guys, came up with a name. It looked like a black mamba. I said, that look good. That sound right. All right, so check with the family. Hey, they like it. All right, no problem.
Yeah.
Put the black mamba in the car, and ever since then, it has stuck.
The rest is straight.
Yeah, it has stuck, and it has been a. Has it been a good ride, And again, each time you cross, you get over a certain hurdle, you have to experience a new hurdle, So by this time now, we sort out the axle deal. Then it was the transmission again. No other issues with the transmission, and I said, boy.
So here we go again.
here we go again now. So nobody made a full clutchless version of this transmission. Then I start to hear it can't be done. I say, oh, Jesus, here we go again. So by this time now, the person tuning my car is Richie Rosado. And Rich and myself sat down. So Rich sat down and I started to look inside of, really dive deep into how the Liberty and the G-force transmissions work.
Okay.
And so I said, all right. And it took about 6 months to between making parts, modifying existing parts that are on the shelf, to make this thing work. So what I did was, the first part of the whole project was I made a conversion for third and fourth and tested it. It worked. I said, shit, all right, good. The first and second now was the harder part, the hardest part. Yeah. So once I started to figure it out, did the conversion, and then we had went up to the Palm Beach track here and went to test, and it was like clockwork. I mean, the thing worked beautiful, right? And everybody was saying it cannot be done. It cannot be done. I said, well, see there.
There it goes.
There it goes. The only drawback with it was that the maintenance on it was way more than what I had bargained for. So, so it worked perfect and everything. So we get ready now, and we're going to an event in Orlando. The typical October event, big event, biggest import event for the year, anywhere on the East Coast or in the United States. And car launched, and the problem when you're sitting in that car, when you always expect to have the wheels up in the air when you leave, but you really can't see, or it doesn't. You can't feel when the car leave. When the car does this thing called a bunny hop, where it comes up so hard and it gets up onto the wheelie bar. The wheelie bar becomes a springboard, so it ends up lifting the whole car off the ground. And I went from first to second mid-air with the wheels off the ground, and it didn't like that. When it came back down, it grenaded the entire transmission. So so that was an expensive venture right there. And we said, all right, we're going to go back to the drawing board. Decided to take a little different route. And that route has been working no problem ever since. And it's been a good thing, and then now once we get that sorted out, then it's back to the engine, and then all of a sudden now, with these stock rotary engine components, you start to exceed the capability of those parts. Because with a rotary, it's only. Are you familiar with how a rotary engine is?
I have a rough idea.
Okay, so the entire engine is only 3 moving parts.
Right.
Two rotors and a shaft. That's it. Nothing else. Right? And with this combination, because the engine and the transmission and the rear end are all in one right there. Something called tire shake that you experience when either you have too much power being put down to the truck or not enough power being put down to the truck. You get this violent shake, and unlike the conventional setup with the engine in the front, gearbox, drive shaft, rear end, you lose some of that shock load when it leaves the transmission to get to the rear end. Well, in my situation, it is amplified tenfold, so it causes parts to break even quicker. So I started to have a problem where once I started to get tire shake, I started to hurt bearings. Then I started to break plates. Breaking the plates in some really funny places, but I really wasn't paying attention right away as to what was the true cause, thinking it was something else, and kept throwing money at it, and started to realize We're bending, I was starting to bend the shafts, starting to, continue to crack the plates, and the more it went up on horsepower. So I think just last year was the final straw. I had to do a complete billet motor. And put in
right. I saw that on the page.
Yeah, billet shaft, billet plates, everything brand new. And
wow.
It's I tell you what, it has held its own and done its job so far, because early last year, or end of the year before, I changed tires. And some people really don't think tires, all right. But we went to a different tire construction, and it only amplified the tire shaking to a whole new level. And by this time, before the billet motor went in the car, when we did a dyno session, I had to stop at 936 because I couldn't keep the car stuck to the dyno. It was kept spinning the tires on the dyno. So instead of tearing up the slicks anymore, we'd have stopped at 36 pounds of boost, 936 horsepower, and then we go to the track. I run 55, 60 pounds of boost now. So there's no way the stock plates are really going to last or the components are going to last any length of time, especially when you experience the tire shaking. So my 830, if you ever saw the video of that 830, 8.3 second at 167 or 168, the whole of first and second gear is a total waste of time, because it shake whole of first gear, it shakes second gear, and when I get it to settle down, 3 and 4 then makes up the whole thing, and I still run 8.3. So the car has a 7-second in there. I just have to be able to connect those dots the first half. No. And
so when you do like your data logging, when you're checking your log now, you realize that, first and second you wasted some time there, and which could be valuable time.
Of course, because usually in most cases your race is won or lost at the starting line. Your reaction time and within the first eighth of a mile of the run, right? So you need to make up. You need to throw everything that you have at it the first eighth of a mile, and then everything else is good. Choco, 8 mile racing put less stress on the car. To me, the only problem is if you're not quick enough, it's too short. There's an old guy who always come to the truck, right? And him say, he's a Puerto Rican guy, real funny guy, right? Good soul. And him said to me, him call the car the frog, right? Because him say every time you see that car, it jump like a frog, right?
It happened.
And it said, one day he said to me, I love this car more than anything else, and any other car I come to the truck and see. I said, why is that, Tommy? Him say, everybody have a belly button, right? I say, yeah. He say, okay. When you go to the truck, you see all of the same type of cars. Your car is different. You don't see nothing like it. I say, fair enough. And I mean, it is definitely not the most competitive, the most common or the most competitive platform I could have chosen. But I really do it just for, I use the car for testing. It's basically what it boils down to. Showing the parts that I make, and just chatting with people. That's it. I really don't care if I win, lose, or draw a race. It don't matter to me, But I just enjoy going there with the family, hanging with everybody, doing our thing, chipping away at the little personal goals. And, each time a person say, boy, I can't do it. Here we go again. We're going to try to get it done. So
but remember too, Damian, that you have the title for the world's fastest rotary powered VW. So I mean, I wouldn't even worry much about the other cars or the other platform because you're already sitting on a world title.
Yeah, but that is again, when you start off with a goal, you say, all right, and then you get rid of that goal, and then what is the new goal? All right, sevens. That's the new goal. Then there's so many times I've been this close to it. Yes. Still don't connect the dots yet. But I know I have everything there to do it. But now I know data is key. So if you don't have a good tuner and you don't have good data, then you're just wasting time, and that is the key. And testing. You can't do enough testing at any one point. The more you test, the better it is. So, but again, I personally don't want to give up until I have accomplished my goal. Some may say that is foolish, but hey, at the end of the day, that is what it is. Nantry, that number 7 there is an elusive one there, I tell you, it's and people always say, why don't put engine in the front? Because that would be too easy at that point. Because you can do it at that point. It's keeping it in its point.
As you mentioned that though, Damian, remember when we were talking earlier, and we were talking about the VW shell, right?
Yeah.
That they say it's the fastest VW in the world, 7.1?
7.1, 1.8, yeah.
Right, and you were breaking it down to me that it's a different setup. Their engine is at the front, etc., etc.
Yeah, sitting on a full tube chassis, engine in the front, Liberty transmission or gearbox, clutchless gearbox with a three disc slipper clutch assembly, 4 9-inch rear end with a bug body on top of it. There's just no question that it's going to run that number. That car, once I finish getting it dialed in, that car going to run high 6s. No problem. Yeah, it is going to run high 6s. No.
And your car is the same chassis, the same steel chassis.
No. Yeah, same steel chassis.
Right, steel chassis. Yeah. Right, which would make your car more of a true bug chassis.
Yes.
Technically, what I mean? Yeah. But definitely, you based on the data you've been gathering, that 7s is somewhere there.
Yeah, of course. And again, all the data shows that if I can connect first, if I can get the first half of the run without any sort of tire shaking, it's all over at that point, right? I run 850 with 850 with the clutch slipping in fourth.
Okay.
So I mean, the car have more than enough power now. I mean, if you have the engine in the front, where there's a rotary, let's just say the rotary itself in the front.
Yes.
I can run that 7s with 600 horsepower. But because 700 horsepower, I can run high 7s with that, but because the engine is in the rear, the type of transaxle transmission setup, rear end setup, it takes more to get the job done. So instead of me needing 600 horsepower to run that number, I need to be way over that. So I mean, currently now, like I said, I'm only estimating it at about 1100 right now, because we have to stop at 936 or 920 or 936 at only 36 pounds.
Right.
I running 55 plus pounds of boost now.
At the truck.
So easily that is way over 1,000 plus horsepower, and but again, we have a currently now I'm making some changes because on the last outing,
Yeah.
which was in, I want to say January or something like that, up at the track here, the we're just doing some more tests, basically shakedown on this new billet motor, and we started to get it all tweaked in, dialed in nicely, and the car ran. I went to the track. Let me back up a little bit. I went to the track the Wednesday night before the event to test.
Yeah.
Went to the burnout box, launched, had a problem. Got back to the pit, realized what the problem was. I couldn't fix it at the track. It's all right. So we ended up going to the track, going to the event. I made the repairs. I corrected the issue on the Saturday, went to the track the Sunday. No, while Wednesday night when I doing my burnout, and while I was doing my burnout, it didn't. When you're sitting in a car, you can feel, every vibration, every movement the car makes when it is right. It didn't feel right. There was a vibration there I couldn't put my finger on. Launched, felt a vibration on top of everything else. So anyway, still, didn't bother, pay attention to it. The Saturday, working on the car, laziness take me. I said, boy, I can't bother take this engine out for go look for nothing. If it start, it start. I don't hear nothing much up inside the gearbox. I say, well, it's going to run. So we go to the track on Sunday. First pass off the trailer, doing the burnout, I feel its vibration again. I say, never. I just said, I'm going to send it, leave, boom. That's when the car ran the 830 at 160 something, right? And I said, wow, I feel good, blah, blah, blah. But I've been noticing every time I go and I'm pressing the clutch pedal when I'm trying to stage, the car doing something funny. The clutch pedal, the bite point is veering all over. It's not at its normal position. It is all over the place, And I said, that's really odd. So anyway, they went through the day, the 2 qualifying runs, went into the first round of elimination. The car refused to start all of a sudden when we're in the staging lane. I said, all right, is that sign this? No. Anyway, the guys pushed the car. Adam, my cousin, he helped me all the time, man. I have a really
big up Adam.
Big up, man. Big up. And everybody, the rest of the guys on the team, pushed the car, get the car started, got the car started. And the competitor was gracious enough to wait for me before he went in, right?
Good.
Anyway, so when I went, tried to stage, the car doing, the pedal was very funky. The bite point, it was grabbing and going. I said, all right, anyway. At that point, I know the race was over at that point. Anyway, I tried, it just blew the tires off. It just shook like crazy, the whole of first gear. I draw second gear. There was no second gear. I say, yep, there we go. So I said, I gone already, so the day done. So that was a Sunday, we pack it up, boom. Monday, I couldn't sleep. I said, you know what, I have to get it. Pull the engine out. Lo and behold, I found out why the clutch was acting up. The tip of the input shaft broke off. So the input shaft had no support into the back of the engine, into the back of the crankshaft for support the clutch assembly. So it's I run a dual disc setup. So it was just inside that transmission, it has a very long input shaft before it gets to a bearing in the middle of the transmission. There's no bearing support by the bell housing before it gets to the back of the engine. So it was just doing this inside. So it literally destroyed the clutch assembly. It took off the snout of the input shaft, and with all of that, so the instant shock load that it went through, it just wrung the splines out on the axles as well. Wow. So we're realizing now that a couple things have to get changed. Definitely switching tire compound, going back to the tire compound that used to work without a problem. And I'm making some chassis adjustments. You know.
Okay. So the 8.3 was with the billet motor.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Well, definitely.
With the second pass, it's first. No, that's a lie. That's its first full. That was the first full pass on the billet motor.
8.3. Coming from what? 8.5.
8.5. Yeah. 8.5.
Wow.
But it was I was always very concerned about turning up the boost with the stock plates or a stock style motor, you know, because
right.
But no, I have no concern. No, it have a bigger,
turn it up.
better. Yeah, man. Yep. And take it.
Hey, you know what? Before we allow persons to ask a few questions, we'll take maybe about 5 to 10 questions. But before that, I remember, was it 2013 when you and Damon came to Jamwest for an exhibition to participate? You know, let me ask you though, Jamaican racing conditions compared to international standards, is it night and day difference? I mean, what you saw when you came, is it night and day difference? I mean, give us a little feedback on that.
You want the honest, you want the true Damian answer, or you want a diplomatic answer?
No, we don't deal with no man. We deal with unfiltered on this program, you know. We want it straight.
All who on this know how very blunt I am, is it? That Jamwest track was an utter fiasco.
Yes.
Drag racing in Jamaica is nowhere near the level that it should be, right? One, the discipline to follow the rules. That is the first and foremost thing. Everybody wants to find a way to skirt safety. A man will build the biggest and most horsepower engine, but them don't want to talk about brake, and don't want to talk about other safety requirements, and want to skirt and cut corner, and then feel like when you don't allow them, you're fighting them. That I cannot do with it. Makes no sense. You build a car that's going to turn around and kill you. Granted,
true.
When we strap ourselves in our cars, we know it could be the last time. But that is the risk we take. But if you don't stack the odds in your favor, then you're only making the odds stack up against you, right?
Yeah.
So when we were approached for that about that whole thing, you know, the first thing was, let us come down and do a little reconnaissance. At that point, I've never been to Jamwest. I've only heard about Jamwest. Jamwest came about long after I migrated, right?
Right.
And knowing that is really the only true drag racing facility, then I wanted to do everything in my power to help the sport, right?
Right.
So, I said, the only other person I could think of to come to bring on board to do this thing would be Damon Chin, right? And Damon and I help him crew, him help me crew. When I not run, we have to go to a different event with his car. I'm there with him, right? And we do our thing. And we're the only two Jamaicans, right? So anyway,
right.
They never wanted us to do come down and do the reconnaissance and check it out, right? They just want to have this big event in December and everything. Well, it really went against our best judgment, but we still did it anyway. And they said they'd bring somebody down to prep the track. So we said okay. Anyway, we all came to an agreement of what needs to be what had to take place first to let the cars leave the country. Anyway, did all of that, and I mean, really and truly, it was nothing to speak of. It was really more in the good faith to get the sport or make something, help it
Right.
along.
Yeah. Right.
So we get in the Friday, I think the Thursday night, and they take us to the track. And right after that, we can tell when, we say, yeah, we're screwed at this point now, right? And we look, we say, all right. And I think the Friday, up to that point, the cars still haven't arrived at the track yet, The one man who in charge of that, him talk out the two side of him out. So we hear one thing, yes, and then is a different story later. So the two car them don't show up, weren't at the track yet, and we heard they're at the track. Right? Anyway, the car them never show up till the following morning. So I say, all right, we'll go, we'll offload, go through our regular routine and checking out the car them and everything. Fine. We decided to say, all right, the arrangement was supposed to have fuel there. No fuel. Yeah, man, fuel will come. Yeah, fuel. No fuel. Norris, we had to end up, the same brother who talked with two sides of him out, him drop the ball, fling away the ball, gone. I don't know what. Anyway, Norris Crooks helped us out and we managed to arrange and get somebody to get the fuel over to us, right?
Okay.
So I think it was the Saturday morning we decided to actually get a chance to make a run, right? Now, when my car left here, Florida, to come there, that car was already running 850. Okay?
Yeah.
When Damon's car left Florida to come there, Damon's car was running low 6 seconds. Right? So when we got there, we saw the quality and condition of the truck. We already knew that this is just going to be just
disaster.
Disaster. So any match races that we wanted to do that were already lined up, there's no way in good sense that we could do it. And people say, oh, what car run 9 seconds down there? Yeah, automatic. Any big juice car down there is automatic. Different thing with a manually shifted car. The shock load when you change gears, those tires, if you don't have a proper track, it's not sticking. It is going to shake, turn, all sorts of garbage. So anyway, late down in the evening, we get a time run. My best run was 11.5. Damon's best run was 11.2. And we couldn't squeeze it, right? And the car, as a matter of fact, Damon was real squirrely, right? And then the shutdown area, I mean, it was dread, right? Anyway, we said, well, we're going to have to make the best of it. And we said, listen, we can't do any match races. It's just not going to happen. It's not safe. We have no intention of tearing up a car them for this show. So we come race day, we do a thing, and we decided to, that video you posted that you found, that overhead shot of Jamaica.
Yes.
You noticed, what did you notice about that?
The car will spin off the line.
All right. That truck was supposed to, they had brought a guy down to prep the truck and sprinkle gold dust under everything. Well, the man, he give them a 6.9. Him sprinkle gold dust and left that backside or whatever it is. And it never still got through the full process of prepping. They never had the equipment there to prep. And it felt like I was on ice. So when I preloaded, when I start to stage the car and I start to preload and the wheel starts spinning, not really wonder if I put the car in gear, And at that point, I said, So anyway, that video though was on race day, and that was actually after Damon's accident, right? That was after Damon's accident because because we abandoned the whole match race setup. we said, all right, we said, we'll do an exhibition run, each of us, right? And we couldn't put our cars in the left lane. We had to stay in the right lane because the left lane was way worse. And then it had a bump a little way out, and it just wasn't good, proper. Yeah, you know. So we chose the better side, which was the right side. And we couldn't even stage Damon's car with the Dwight, CM1 Windsor. You know, the man with 2 modes. We couldn't even stage Damon's car with the front wheels because it was very close to. I bet it was going to be outside of the contact, the good rubber area. So we decided to stage the car with the rear wheels, just to give a little.
So that was deliberate.
Deliberate, yes, it was deliberate. But you know,
because persons saw it, and persons were saying, you know what is happening there. But thank you for clearing the air right now.
Yeah, we had this thing way too long to know where the damn starting line there. You know? So if we're gonna set up this thing here for, you know what I mean, this is not a riff rafting.
Yeah.
So anyway, we decide to say, D, just take it easy, just 1, 2, that's it. It went 1, 2, 3, and when the third gear connect and there was no traction, whichever wheel got the traction is where the right wheel, which is the one that is going to experience the most load at any when you launch or whatever it is. Even though it's a spool, the right side is going to get more drive. So when that got more bite, it caused the car to turn left, and you know, unfortunately, Damon was just there for the ride, you know, and it was a hard thing to swallow. You know, the car damaged. And, you know, it was a bitter pill. And at that point, we said, we're not going to run. And, you know, and then they said, oh, beg you, just, I said, listen, you know. And then, even then, against my better judgment, later in the evening, that video that you showed, that was, I decided, all right, I'm going to go. And you see, that nearly put me in the wall.
Yes. When just a little bit off the concrete there, so the car twitched to the wall.
Yeah, all the slipping and sliding before the concrete. The car couldn't get no traction until after I get off the concrete. And then that surface there, you're pulling the stones, you're pulling the asphalt, the stones out of the asphalt when the sticks biting into it. So, you know, yeah, I mean, I give props to KT to be dealing with that place. And, you know, it is what it is, and that's what them have to work with, right? But the reality of it is, you are not going to see a proper big juice race down there until them have a proper track, a proper surface, right? It's just not worth it. It, you know, and that whole experience honestly left a bitter taste in our mouth. You know, there was even issues where, you know, I don't give a flying F right now who makes and who know it. But a lot of people don't know the problems we had getting those cars back. That same 2-mode brother Windsor ended up sending the car them back without the proper documentation and notifications to US Customs. US Customs seized our cars.
What?
We were able, we had to be Damon and myself had to be jumping through some hoops. Just imagine this now. This is New Year's Eve. And we are here all sort of something. And we still not get to carry it. And when we finally find out from the broker what the situation is, the broker here stateside, he said, boy, he must trying to deal with this, get this thing, but he don't know what else to do. I said, what do you mean? He said, Customs seized the car then. That's what I mean.
Wow.
Proper paperwork was not filed before the cars left Jamaica. And they said, blood. All right.
Wow.
And naturally, Mr. Owner man to the truck and Mr. Windsor left it all in a field to deal with. It's all right. Well, long and short of it is, we managed to recover the cars a couple hours before they went to the auction block.
What?
Yeah.
They were going to auction the cars.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a real. Wow.
And a man they even say, Damian car damage, mash up. I mean, the severity of the damage was so much that they had to reclip the front of the car, right? So it cost him money. It cost us money to pay the different extra fees, duties, put up a bond, all extra stuff there. And not even $1, a pure lip service between 90 and Windsor. Them would have never catch me come back this way. Right? And never.
Wow.
Them would have to do something better. Right?
Yeah.
Somebody have to do something. Right? But there's no way me I got get myself involved with that. So until persons
go ahead.
until the right set the right body of people come together to put together a different facility apart from Jam West, right? Make it a proper facility, and that way persons can have somewhere to test and race without anything, without any problems. That's the time you're going to see the sport flourish.
It was.
Right? Jamaica is so poised, ideally, in the Caribbean to get cars from the US, get cars from Puerto Rico, get cars from
the Caribbean.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just pure joke thing and waste of time thing, right? Vernon Field is better than Jam West, right? But at the same time, Vernon Field is not ideal. Okay, it is what we had to work with. Okay,
what we had to work with. Yeah,
what we had to work with. And yes, if Jam West had done their research and done proper surface and all of them things there, it would be a good place, right?
Yeah,
It far, but it would be
worth it.
Yeah, but that do right. And me no business meet out my mind, right?
Yeah.
And at the circle, right? So unless a group of people come together with a common goal and make this thing work, and do a proper facility, that's the only way drag racing will flourish the way it needs to flourish.
And on that note, 7 years later, we're actually hearing what took place. And trust me, Damian, I had no idea, that's how it went. Really, I can understand, from you and Damon's point of view, just a feeling. Trust me, can't be a good feeling.
No, it's a bitter taste, considering we're coming to, we did it to help. The little monkey money where them fling our way, that barely get the car then prepare to even go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And and it's just you can't have promoters wanting all and not being able to provide almost all to the racers. Because listen, the racers are the show, Without the racers, business, how much spectator you have in that place, what am I gonna watch? Goat? Cow?
All right, so it's okay. So let me ask. So it's not that you won't ever come back to Jamaica to race. It's just that the facility and the things have to be different.
Of course. I would have loved to have been able to come back to Vernon Field just to say, the car come full circle, come back to where it started.
Come back, right.
I would have loved that to happen.
Yes.
But that is clearly not going to happen now. But you know, that's just how it is. But yeah, I would, if there was somewhere to race. Yeah, of course I'd come back. I would love to come back to do it.
Cool.
You know,
I know
but,
a lot of fans, a lot of your fans would definitely love to hear that. You know, because it's always good to see these iPod machines. Some vehicles that we see on TV when we're watching international racing, we actually see them back home.
Yeah.
You know, and before I even go any further, Damian, I have to say salute to you for waving the Jamaica flag. I mean, making us proud. I mean, you and Damon, whenever you guys go on the track, and I mean, all racers, you know, Jamaican racers who are doing well internationally, Jamie Marsh, all of you guys, we salute you. You know, it's always a pleasure just seeing that black, green, and gold on top of the cars before you guys go down.
Even for my team shirt, you know.
Sure, man.
Always have the flag, you know, friend.
Sure, man. Have to represent. Yeah, it's a joy, man.
Yeah,
it's a joy.
Make it worse when them see me, them think me a Puerto Rican. And when I tell them I'm Jamaican, they make turns and say, oh. You know, them say you have no dreadlocks or not like that. I say, but
yeah, where the dreads?
Where the dreads? Where the dreads?
Right? Oh Lord, I tell you. Well, I tell you something, Damon. We almost gone 3 hours, so I won't keep you much longer. But I'll take about 5 questions.
Listen, man, me good, man. Me have nowhere to go right now.
You're good. All right, good. Let's we'll take some questions real quick for Damian. So if you have a question for Damian, just drop them in the comments and we'll try to answer them as quick as possible. Dominic is saying that she's proud of you.
Yes, my eldest daughter. Yeah, and she Courtney. Yes, Courtney, big up.
Yeah, man. All right. Yeah, man. I mean, I love the support.
Matthew Kenzie Dan. Yeah.
Yeah, man. You know,
big up. The thing about drag racing is a family affair, you know. When you go there, it's all type of it's, you know, mud knee 82 type of fuel, methanol.
Yeah.
M1
all right.
Methanol.
Yeah, man. Yes, we'll move to sport. Yeah.
Nancy, big up. When next are coming? Why I was supposed to come before this COVID-19 thing, you know, but big up Dane. But we don't know. You see how Mr. COVID there. If them tell me, say me I forgot to do a test and push that the Q-tip to the back of my brain.
You didn't know it. Oh Lord, you better wait for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Who else is here now? I say Alan Gordon is saying, remember you promised to build me a car like yours.
Yeah, maybe not see the money yet. Around him.
All right. So Alan, money talk, you know. Money talk.
Yeah. Man.
All right.
Him can buy mine, no problem. He's selling mine.
All right. Somebody earlier was asking how much power.
I'm going to say over 1,000. Well over 1,000. 1,100.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. Crazy J is asking 13B, 20B, or 26B.
No man, 13B, 20B or 26B. My pocket shall enough, friend. Can't manage them. That is a different league. That will be the wheel standard class at that point.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. All right. LSR110 is asking Bug versus Supercharged Camaro. Who would win?
Listen, as far as I'm concerned, the type of car you go up against, it don't matter. You could go up against a freaking top fuel car. If him don't manage to connect the dots right after him leave and I connect the dots, who going win? So it don't really matter. Wilma, Ruel is family, yes. Not so brother from a different mother, but still still family. Believe it or not. But it don't matter. It don't matter what car you line up against. You know, if you could be up against the Camaro or whatever, it don't matter. What people don't realize is that technically you're not racing the other person, you're racing the clock. Point A to point B. That's it. It's just who get it right.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And more, end up on the wrong side more times than none, but that's how it go.
Yeah. There's this notion. I hear a lot of persons say it from time to time, and I'd want your honest opinion on it. Persons would say, "Yo, because Jamaica really don't have no good truck, cause look Paul Williams run A3 locally. That means to say if him go on a better truck in the States, he will run sevens or whatever it is." What's your view on that? You think cars that run locally stand a chance of shaving off as much as even a second or so?
Well, listen, that is always a good train of thought, but
yes,
the problem is in Jamaica you have to fight wheel spin. So wheel spin is actually saving you some heartache at some point. Once you cross a certain threshold, it becomes a total nightmare. But when you come to the States now and you step on a track here, right? You step on a track, you step out of your shoes, left your shoes on the track stuck in, right? So if you don't have what you can get away with in Jamaica, you're not getting away with it here, because you're going to find everything else is going to start to break because you're getting more traction. Exactly. And at that point you think at that point you have to spend some more money to get the car prepared.
So the little slip, there's a little slip that we might get based on our trucks locally. We might get a little slip.
Yeah, get enough slip.
and that will save. Hey, but I tell you something though, Damian. Couple minutes ago, Kenty did a track prep.
Yeah.
And a couple man of just come pick up them axle from the start line.
All right.
I think that's an improvement.
Of course. But you can imagine this when if by some slim miracle that entire truck can be prepped where you step on any part of that truck and you step out of your shoes, then you're going to have a whole new scenario. I'll give you an example. The track here local in Palm Beach, they don't prep the track nowhere near as good as Orlando. They prep the track, the crap out of that truck. I mean, what you can get away with at Palm Beach, you can't get away with it at Orlando, right? It's sticky, right? So if you can manage to leave the line and not break, that is the first accomplished, right? Another track that we have, another event that we always go to with
Damian, the audio sound a bit off. Maybe it's my side. All right. Still a little. All right.
So when we go to a track in Maryland for that World Cup event, that level of prepping is the whole new level. And it's so sticky till when Damon are burn out and the car pull into a stop, you hear the glue pulling the tires. You have to give it extra gas to back it up just to break that seal between the tire and the truck. Track prep is key, and that will always show the flaw of any part in a car. So what racers experience in Jamaica now is nothing compared to what we experience.
Yeah. Got you. I see Kenty just drop a comment earlier to say, I see cars not dialed in properly for the best tracks in the US and spin all the way.
Yeah, because a lot of things can affect the way a
a car or the track behaves. Now on a hot day, you can have all the best rubber on the track becomes greasy. That rubber and the oil is coming from the track, the surface, and it's coming. It's like you're running on grease in some cases, especially when you get midway to the top end and you start to break the tires loose. That's part of it. So track temperature, tire temperature has a lot to do with it, right? And if your crew chief or the driver not paying attention to what the conditions call for, turning up the power is not always the answer. You might have to take power out to be able to get the traction that you need to go down the track. So you can have the best prep car, but on a hot day, the track will become greasy,
Well, I tell you what, Damian, before we end the live, I want to give you a chance to do a shout out, anybody want to big up before we get the countdown time up.
Yeah, man. I just want to say thanks. First of all, thank you for doing this.
Yeah, man.
For all the races.
Definitely, bro.
It helps shed the light to other people who curious on one or how it goes.
True.
I want to big up Adam. I can't thank him enough for all his help. All the friends and family who support me throughout the years and encouragement, giving me the support to just keep on pushing. Because let me tell you, there are many times I have said to myself, boy, I'm done with this, Can't go no more. And, we sleep on it and talk about it and keep it going. And, as long as I have breath in my body and I have this car still in one piece, I'm going to do what I love. I still going to represent my country. Still, keep it different.
Man, respect.
Care just to do something else, you know what I mean? Big up Dave. And but we see time and money. Or money and time.
Yeah, man. All right. Well, in the mean,
just one more thing though. If I would really love to see the sport progress even further down there. And yes, if at some point and I find a way to come back with the car for an event or something at a facility, I'll be more than open to that and do it. Because again, I believe in building the sport and helping. And I always try to do my part. You know what I mean? I always try. Because that's where I started. And enough, a lot of people seem to forget where they come from and where they started. And the minute you do that, same country, same to you and your family. The minute you do that, you have lost the biggest race ever at that point. Right? Never forget any racer. Every racer should never forget where they have started, who has helped them along the way. Sometimes people get the way and everybody talk about me, and I that don't work with a team, and you just have to all the drivers, all the racers, spectators, all who have valid interest and things, they need to put their input and make their contribution. Not necessarily financially, but make the contribution to make the sport grow. Nothing is for free, and we all have to do everything. And I want to say big up to Morgan too. I mean, Morgan has been there from day one, and Dougie and Courtney and thing. But if all the racers came together and had a common goal, like what we experienced back in the 90s when we saw that there had to be a common goal.
Needed to, right?
Yeah, you have to, because with one person can't do it. It takes a village, right? One voice won't be heard. You need everybody's voice to be heard, right? And that way, when they start to shake up the whole scene and everything, it'll make the JMC or JMMC or whatever they want to name. Wake up and smell the coffee. Because, I'm going to give you one quick thing before we go. Right? This is all another thing that they gripe me.
right? When we were coming down for this Jam West thing, I don't remember who was in charge or what at the time, but them start question if we have competition license for run these type of cars. And I said to myself, now, coop on this now, Papa Jesus. Who are they to ask me if we have competition license? And them don't never set a rule properly to make sure so the car them or even see proper drug care, right? When we have our own, when we have an NHRA certified license.
Yes, yes.
Right? And we have proper safety equipment.
Right. Roll cage and all.
Don't even with the neck restraint, everything, we have everything. And then we have the nerve for even question that. Them not question nobody else. When them down there, I'll do them foolishness too, right? So it just goes to show how the bad mind of the GMMC don't serve this BC sport any good, right? As far as me concerned, them can move on and all sort of any farmer drag racing just need to tell them for kiss your ass and just go about them business because them don't serve not a goddamn purpose. Why you pay for the FIA license?
Yes.
What purpose them serve? Tell me now. Them mad.
Hey, I tell you. Hey, one thing about this live, is it is unfiltered. I see somebody message me the other day and I say, boy, careful how you make people come on the live and I call people name. And I said to the person, say, listen, I cannot control what people say.
With that. And you can anybody who know me, even Dwight, him know me staying, it hurt my mind, Not you know me, hurt my mind, right?
All right.
So the whole of them people up in the bigger heads of the GMMC, GMC, or whatever.
Yeah.
They don't want to see drag racing progress, and you know what I mean. So they always want to try and find a way and hold. Trust me. I'm glad say me not dead now. That's all I mean. I'm brass glad because if I turn the pot upside down.
I tell you. Hey, one thing I can tell you, one thing I can say, Damian, is I really appreciate you coming on tonight, bro. I mean, it is really an eye-opener. It's really, an entertaining live. I know a lot of persons who are on the live now. They have been on since we started at 8:05 and they're still here. Right? Yeah, because the wealth of knowledge, the history lesson from then till now and talking about the hiccups along the way. A man might hear say 8.3, but they don't know how much time you have to go back to the drawing board before you run at 8.3.
Of course.
You know, see it.
And
yeah, man.
Another, when all that, and when Dwight and myself and Richie Rizzardo, we put a plan together to bring the Corolla down, right?
Yes.
And the audacity that the GMMC had to even question if the original owner and driver of the car had proper license and is able to drive the car. While this man had drive the car there from him knee. Right? That car had so much history within the NHRA import scene, right? And we decided we're going to bring the car to Jamaica, and under the guidance of Richie and myself and Dwight and thing and Blue Boys Racing. And the fight we got from day one was ridiculous. Some of the things we hear, man, let me tell you something. For sure, you say them, man, they're not good, right? Them not good. And then after a while, after every event, and that car was just too much for Vernon Field. So, at one point, we just decided, listen, it's not worth spending any more money to run the car down there. That is why we didn't do the car. It didn't run for a year down there. And then, when the whole Jam West, the whole Vernon Field thing mashed up, started to hear it in the pipeline. We say, you know what, well, let's pack it up and bring it back up here. You know, till the new but that's how I go.
Yeah. But I tell you, again, bro, I have to just say much thanks. And I mean, after you run the sevens, you know, we want to bring you back on the live, you know.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. We have to celebrate for the live too, man.
Yeah. I want to tell you, boy, every year I think I catching that 7, boy, and I tell you, but it's all right. Maybe I catch it one day, you know. Maybe I catch it.
Of course. Yeah, man. Remember you said it right here too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Maybe I catch it.
Yeah,
man. I'll catch
it. Yeah, man. Well, I tell you something. We have a few more minutes before the countdown. Before we get the countdown from Instagram. So, we'll take a question or two just until the timer comes up to wrap up this live. Dwight, big up, boy. Dwight saying, Liquor Red Gone.
Yeah, Liquor Red Gone, yes. Twist up.
Yeah. Rosado Racing, big up. All right. Let me see. Chris Agent Etta is asking, Damian, you're going to Bradenton?
But I don't even know what event going on in Bradenton, to be honest with you. I know an event coming up right now next month in Orlando. It's going to be an 8-mile event. And I'm thinking, I kind of just realized I only have like maybe 2-3 weeks to prep this car and get it back together. Because of this whole COVID thing, I haven't really done anything. I've been really very busy with work. I don't work 7 days a week, and I don't work on weekend unless it's going to impact the financial status significantly. And why am I tell you, the work them for this whole COVID thing, I work 7 days a week. You know what I mean? So I think tomorrow is actually the first day I'd actually be physically going to be working on that car since all of this COVID thing has started.
Gotcha.
You know? So I'm going to do my best to see if I can start the process, get it prepped and thing. But the older I get, I realize if I don't have this car prepped no later than 1 week before the event, it ain't going.
Makes no sense. Yeah.
I'm not into that anymore. I used to do it, boy, but I can't bother with it. I get too.
Yeah. For real. All right, let's take one last question for Damian before we let him go. So one last question, peeps. The next question that comes up, we'll just ask it. Right? Okay. Somebody's asking if you should come back to Jamaica, any cars you would want to race or call out?
Yeah, man. But I want to run Dean. But I want to run Chuko. But anybody. It don't matter to me. The whole of me, I just run with the whole of them. You know? Win news as well. Hey, listen. Nantry, everybody.
Yes, Nantry not safe.
Yeah, I mean. Everybody I forget a touch. But most of them man, them believe thing is them only thing they want to think about is winning. And I'm sorry to tell you that if you don't know how to lose first, you will never understand. Never. So
Thank you.
Remember that. So it no matter to me who we land. We could have go up against Margie, it no matter. Care is a care. It don't matter.
Yeah. Strong words there a while ago, no, bro.
Of course. Yeah. That's the reality of everything. If you can't lose, if you don't know how to lose, you'll never know how to win. That's the problem.
Marco saying Arville Williams as well.
Yeah, man. Listen, man. Nothing nicer than when you have big juice car against big juice car.
Yeah, man.
It's exciting. That is what that is what the spectators come to see.
Yes.
That's what listen, the reality of it is the drivers are the attraction. Without the attraction, there is no event. Bottom line.
Thank you. Full stop. Yeah, man. I tell you something, I'm not sure when you'll come back, but boy, the all-wheel drive Hondas, them are getting enough down there, and them One of them gone in at 8 already. Big up Bojo.
Yeah. Bojo, yeah, man. Bojo did a real good job with that. And we know Bojo long time, you know. So, but it's only a matter of time before, the dots. Everybody have them time. Everybody will have a time to connect the dots. And, I'm happy for him. I'm happy for anybody who has accomplished all of their personal goals and making strides. You know what I mean? And cars can't stay running 10 seconds forever, or 9 seconds, or 8 seconds.
No.
The time's going to get faster, but for that to happen, they need to have a surface. They need to have a proper facility, proper safety measures. Again, think about it. If a man getting a proper accident down there, how they're going to get extricated from the car? Them have jaws of life? No. And I've seen where they've had to cut racers out of cars up here. And that is not a pretty sight, right? So we as drivers,
something to think about.
Yeah, man. We as drivers who when we go to certain places, we have to make sure that the ambulance is there. Some trucks, believe it or not, will just have a little full ambulance and it can't go nowhere, right?
Yeah.
And I tell you, it's safety is important. Without that, it don't make sense. It not work. You never can tell.
I want you, the 30-second countdown. Hey, dear man, it's a pleasure. And trust me, we need to do this again. Real soon.
Man, anytime. Just let me know. No problem.
All right, bro. Take it easy, peeps. Remember, on Monday night is Tommy Gore. So join us again on Monday for another Instagram Live.
Yeah.
Take care again. One love. Big up. Thanks again, dear man.
Thank you, man.
One love.